County College, and we're going to talk a little bit about the partnership that Union County College and Montclair State University have formed as a pathway for students to enter and obtain an associate's degree, and then transfer to Montclair to obtain bachelor's degree and potential master's degrees. First, we're going to talk about the Union County College portion. In the homepage here, you can see there's a QR code. If you want to scan it, you can view a lot of different features from our website and different events. But Union County College, if you're unfamiliar with us, we were the first community college in New Jersey. And in the last 2 years, we've been nominated for the Aspen Prize, being the top 150 community colleges across the country, which is a really high honor for us. We're still actually being considered for the #1 spot within the Aspen Prize this year, being in the top 50. So we're really proud of this achievement. And our institution, we have 4 campuses. You can go to the next slide, Aaron. But yeah, so within our college, we have a couple of different campus locations. Our premier campus being the Cranford campus, where a lot of students would take classes for most majors. We have our student development building as the main picture here, where our one-stop service center is located, as well as McDonald Hall, which is where our president and vice president's offices are located, our McKay Library in the bottom right. But the student development building connects to a number of different buildings where our academics are taught. You can go to the next slide. We also have our Plainfield and Elizabeth campuses, where we have more of our allied health science programs. We have features of nursing programs as well, EMT certifications on the Plainfield campus. And then you go to the next slide. And then we have our beautiful Scotch Plains campus, where I'm at right now. This is where the University Center and the partnership with Montclair State University would continue for students after they obtain their associate's degree from Union County College. They would be able to work in integrated classrooms with Montclair State faculty and work towards their bachelor's degree through specific programs that Montclair State is offering. This is just to give you a visual of some of the classroom spaces. Aaron, you can move through these slides fairly quickly, but we have an integrated lecture hall style classroom where classes will be taught from the Montclair State campus at the Scotch Plains campus here at Union County College. We have business centers where students can work at their own pace while they're here on campus and be able to print different things. We also have phenomenal top of the line biology and chemistry labs. This picture doesn't even do it justice, but it's a ginormous lab for students to work within top of the line technology within these spaces too. At Union County College, we have over 62-year degree programs and certification programs, 5 academic divisions. The University Center is what we're going to focus on today. So those programs will be highlighted through Montclair's portion of the presentation, but we also have a number of different opportunities for professional development and continuing education. And we have different modalities that students can take classes in through online, remote live, as well as in person. Student life is phenomenal on campus. We have over 30 different clubs and organizations. You can go to the next slide, Aaron. We have 15 Division 1, 2, and 3 NJCAA athletic programs. Our women's basketball team just won their 3rd consecutive regional championship within our conference. We have intramural sports programs. We have a new esports team, as well as a new men's volleyball team. Our students are really involved with different clubs and organizations throughout campus. And one big feature is our academic learning commons, or our ALC, which is where a lot of our tutoring occurs, but also a lot of collaboration between clubs and organizations and students making connections. They've logged over 50,000 hours as a student body with their peer tutors, which really shows the effort that the students put into their work, and as well as making connections with those tutors. We also have fitness centers on campus, National Honor Societies as well. So a lot for students to get involved with and start developing that resume before they transfer into Montclair. Other student services within our one-stop service center, we have our Advising Career and Transfer, or ACT, which is where students get their advisement each semester. We also have transfer advisement. I think Cynthia Roman joined. She's here as well. She's one of our transfer advisors. We also have social work services that work under the Dean of Students. We have career services that help students with their resume, mock interviews, developing internships, applying to internships. We work with the community heavily to find those internship opportunities for students. And then we have an amazing amazing disability services team that assists students inside the classroom as well as outside the classroom, finding any test accommodations, any assistance that students will need while they're on campus. We also have an amazing initiative that our president started back in 2012 called the Operation Graduation. As well as I mentioned in the beginning, we were one of the first community colleges in New Jersey, but our retention about 10 years ago was not so great. It was actually one of the lowest across the state as far as community colleges went. But over the last 7 years, we've really improved our graduation and retention rates through this Operation Graduation initiative, and now we're amongst one of the top 5 community colleges within the state as far as retention and graduation goes. And within that initiative, we noticed there was a pocket of population of students, African-American males, that also had a lower graduation rate compared to the rest of the demographic here. So we made Project Achievement to kind of close that gap between the student populations on campus. And they work to do different initiatives, bring in different guest speakers, career and transfer services. They do different events. They go off campus as a group. But it's really to help students in this demographic be more successful while they're here at Union County College. And we have closed that gap. They're actually closer to 30% of a graduation rate compared to the 35% that the rest of the college is looking at. So they've been doing a great job over the last 7 years. All right, so admissions and aid. This process is pretty seamless for students. You can go to the next slide, Aaron. Really, we accept the application. You guys can take a picture of this page if you'd like to get the promo code. That waives the application fee for any of your students. It's a $10 fee. We do accept high school transcripts, college transcripts, test scores, AP scores, IB scores. This is really to assist the students process entering the institution. We're an open access institution, but what this allows is for different scholarships to be evaluated when students apply for financial aid. Their transcripts and test scores can help them receive additional funding. Special programs do require additional application steps like our nursing program, but if that's something that the student is looking to pursue, they'll be notified and they'll go through that process with their advisor. Our tuition and fees, we have a flat rate tuition, so the fees are rolled into the overall tuition, which is $2,640.50 per semester. That's the in-county rate. $214 per credit if they were going to go part-time. That's under 12 credits. Out of county would be a $5,281 per semester. And then again, the nursing program has separate fees. But this is the flat rate without any aid. And it's lower than any other four-year institution and other community colleges across the state. It's a very competitive price. And with the partnership with Montclair, it really allows them to have that out-of-pocket cost really driven down starting here at Union County College. We also have a number of grant opportunities and over 200 scholarships that we give out. We've given out over $25 million last year from a community college. It's a really good initiative to get students that additional aid. A lot of students qualify for federal and state grants. We have CCOG, which is the Community College Opportunity Grant, which is like that bottom dollar grant that closes all that helps students that have maybe additional aid but have a little bit left over, and if they qualify, if they make less than $65,000 a year, they can get additional funding that way. We also have Pell, FSEOG, EEO, EOF grants, and then the scholarships range depending on what the student's involved with and what they're applying for each semester. And I always encourage everyone to stay connected with us. We're creating new social media pages. We're trying to get more involved with social media, but there's also our contact information, all the different departments within our one-stop service area. And again, you can scan that QR code and take a picture of that promo code to waive the application fee. And at this time, I'm going to pass it over to Aaron Samples, who's going to talk about the partnership with Montclair State University.
Thank you so much, Greg. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see everyone today. I'm going to give a brief history about Montclair State University, go over the new agreement that we have with Union County College, and then go over some questions and answers for both of us. So we'll get started here. For those of you that have not visited Montclair State University, this is a pretty view from up top. We're located in, of course, Montclair, New Jersey. And it's a beautiful campus, so please come visit. It looks more like Southern California with the architecture more than Northern New Jersey. All right, here we go. So some background information. We opened our doors in 1908, making us have a long history in the state. Our first graduating class had 187 students. We now have over 21,000 students coming to campus every year. That makes up, of course, our undergrad, graduate, and PhD students, letting us be the second largest university in the state of New Jersey. However, I always allow the students to understand that the average class size is about 25. So there will never be a lecture room of 800 students. It's very manageable. Student to faculty ratio is about 17:1. So hopefully very similar to what they experience in high school and at the community colleges. We have over 300 majors, minors, and concentrations. Our average student comes in with about an AB average, about a 3.2, and that rings true for both freshmen and transfer applicants year after year. But I also stress to the students, 3.2 is not the minimum GPA, right? That's simply the average. 5,300 students choose to live on campus every year. And of course, our transfer students are welcome to do that. We are 12 miles outside of New York City, which is a great location for so many reasons. Of course, I say, you know, close enough to the city, but you're not paying the New York City rates for housing or for tuition. We are approximately 24 miles away from the Union County College Scotch Plains location. So that comes into play in a bit, why we will talk about the agreement. So about 30 minutes or so up the Parkway. We have 2 New Jersey Transit train stations, which makes it super convenient for a lot of students, staff, and faculty to come to main campus if they need to. Of course, we have NJ Transit buses as well. And that train station, that train line goes the Newark Boonton line, and it runs Monday through Friday. So this quickly is our brag sheet. Every year, of course, we take a look and see where we're highlighted. Of course, publications, the Wall Street Journal, Princeton Review, US News and World Report, and so many others. But as you can see, we are highlighted in so many different ways, which we're super proud of. The newest one being the Feliciano Business School is ranked 14th best business school for people of color by College Consensus. We're super proud about that. So of course, the university is made up of a number of colleges and schools, and the ones in bold print are the 3 programs we're currently highlighting with our partnership with Union County College. So the BA in Communication and Media Studies, we have the BS in Computer Science, and of course, the BS in Business Administration Management. At the graduate school level, we also will be offering 2 programs for business and educational leadership. And I'd like to just point out that beautiful picture in the top right corner. That is truly from the backside of our campus on a clear day. Another reason to visit. You'll have amazing views of the city and Jersey City and everywhere around. But yeah, the students enjoy that very much. So what can students study through Montclair State? Of course, we have so many programs. The more popular programs are highlighted on the left side. But again, business administration, communications, and computer science are always in that top group. And therefore, we're excited to offer that through Union County College. We are ranked, top ranked for teacher education programs, as many of you already know. We're very well known throughout the state and the long history for our teacher ed. We do have combination programs, the most in the state, actually. That's what they tell me, 39 or so, and I know they're always adding more to the list. We also have a pre-law and pre-med program where, and this is a new initiative, we have a group of advisors that are dedicated to students who say they may want to go to law school or medical school in the future. And so it's not it's not a major, it's not a minor, but it complements their program. And so they will reach out to those departments and really get the help they need to prepare for that next step upon graduation from Montclair. So getting involved at Montclair State University, and this is true for the students through the union agreement, and of course our main campus students. Being such a large institution, we have so many wonderful organizations that they could take part in. Greek fraternities and sororities, intramural club sports. We got the D3 athletic teams. Transfer students can of course try out for any of those teams. We have the homecoming, the football, all that good stuff. Study abroad, all students are welcome to do study abroad. In fact, we encourage that. We have 60 plus countries that we partner with, and therefore transfer students, regardless of major and the number of credits that they have, they can absolutely do study abroad. And as I'm sure most of you know, that could look different to many students. So it could be a full-time semester. It could be maybe a 10-day excursion around spring break, 3 weeks in the summertime, just to get them out there and seeing the world. 10 residence halls, and of course, national student exchange, which brings them across country, Maine, Florida, California, if they want to do a semester there. But again, going back to the whole idea of transferring from Union County College or any of the community colleges to Montclair, it's so important for the students to get involved. It's not required, but so many studies have shown over the years that in order for them to feel at home in their new environment, connecting with students and faculty and staff, of course, this is the best way. So we highly recommend looking into that. So why are we here? Montclair University partnered with, of course, Union County College very recently, and we're super excited because this is very new for us. This is a very new partnership, and just we're in the game now, right? We are partnered with the Scotch Plains location, their building there, where we can now offer several programs where students can graduate with a associate's degree. That's preferred. And then they can go work through the Scotch Plains location for one of the following programs. So for this fall of 2022, we of course are offering business management, communication and media studies, and computer science. At the graduate school level, we are also offering the MA in educational leadership, and then in fall of 23, the MBA in business. Those are the starting programs. And so why did we pick Union County College? Because it's a very convenient location for a lot of the students across the state. And the important part to remember, of course, we're recruiting at Union County College for their graduates, but also we're opening it up to anyone in the state. So I know there's a lot of community colleges around, Middlesex, of course, and Brookdale and Raritan Valley. All of your students are welcome to take part in this, along with just regular community members. If they live in the Central Jersey area, or they simply work in the area and it's more convenient for them to come to the Scotch Plains location rather than up to main campus, and they want one of these programs, then this is great. They're going to get their full Montclair State University bachelor's degree. Applicants should have an associate's degree. That's always the best way to go. We always encourage it anyway, with this partnership or not. Associate degrees are key, or the equivalent. We'll have to take a good look at their transcripts and see how many credits, what are those credits, to see how we can put it all together. And let's see here. So the idea is that the students will be fully Montclair State students once they get to their junior year of classes. They'll be taking through the university center. If they truly have to take a class or two at main campus, of course, we'll allow for that, whatever's most convenient to them to keep things moving along. They will pay the Montclair State University tuition. However, the university fees are waived, and that's a big deal. That's quite a savings, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Students are eligible for financial aid, of course. The FAFSA, we always encourage that, as they've been doing all along, and the Garden State Guarantee, and we'll talk about that more in a minute as well. Applicants do not have to be UCC students. As we discussed, classes are offered online or hybrid in 8-week sessions. So that's important to take note of. It's so convenient. Number one location, hopefully Scotch Plains is a little bit closer to home, but also it's an online option and hybrid. So maybe they'll come to class every other week at the location. So a lot can be done from home, obviously with the pandemic, and as things are, moving along, people are realizing they can manage it in that fashion, and it may be more convenient to them. And we are forming it to be more so of a cohort style. So international student services and EOF services are not available through the university center. So those students will have to come to main campus if they want a Montclair State degree. Let's see, if students choose other majors, they don't want to do one of the three that are mentioned, then of course they would have, or they change their major, they change their mind down the line, they would have to come to main campus. No big deal. A site manager will soon be hired by Montclair State to work through the university center. So, all student services that they would get at the main campus, we'll bring it to them down there, which should be helpful. Students will get university ID, so if they have to come up to use the library, of course, they're welcome to. Vaccination policies and related regulations will follow the Union County College location because that's truly their building. And of course, commencement and convocations and all the fun stuff upon graduation, they will take part in. So the three programs, the Feliciano School of Business, of course, our business administration management concentration, we just have a top-notch School of Business. In fact, it is the accredited by the AACSB accreditation, which is less than 5% of business schools have that accreditation. So it's a really good place to learn through. Our management program also is very successful. They create leaders, and that is super important this day and age. We have a lot of great connections, of course, with hiring corporations and internship opportunities, entrepreneurial positions. And so they will definitely be in a good place with our School of Business. The BS in Computer Science program enables students to achieve a lot upon graduation. Again, great mentorship. We are a research institution, so at the university undergraduate level, students are allowed to participate in research opportunities. In fact, it's encouraged, and it's also accredited by Computing Accreditation Commission. And the BA in Communication and Media Studies, another huge program for us. We have been deemed recently as the, unofficially, the East Coast Hollywood. And so we would love students to really take advantage of all that we have to offer. We have so many great faculty members that live the part in the industry, and they bring it to the classroom. So career services, again, students, if they're with main campus or of course through the Scotch Plains location, they're going to have access to career services. Number one, we've had a long run in New Jersey, right? A huge network of alumni. And so that plays a big role when it comes time for internships and graduation, to have networking, and Montclair State listed on their resume. But beyond that, we have a team of experts in each college and school that will bring them forward to the next step. Industry, they'll understand the industry leads, they'll be invited to job fairs and everything else, really just to make things come together. So talking about the numbers real quick, on the application side of things, we had about 6,400 transfer students apply to Montclair in the last year. Of those students, about 1,800 were accepted they decided to enroll. And why I bring this up is because we've been doing this for a long time, and we want our transfer students to feel the love, just like our freshman students, our new students. And so every year we're tweaking our processes, and we also rely on our counselors to bring to our attention if there's any way that we can improve our process. Please let us know. But the applications always come from all 21 counties in New Jersey, 49 different states this past year. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, which state was it? Idaho did not apply, but we would love for them to next year. And so let us know if you know anybody out that way. 35 countries as well. And so what I want to bring to your attention is that we have a diverse applicant pool and a diverse campus of students. And that's truly what we strive for. So deadlines, if you have students that are graduating with an associate's degree this May or August, and they would like to start with us in September of 2022, our application deadline's coming up, and it'll be May 1st. Now for January start students in the spring of 23, application deadline November 15th. That application's not open yet, maybe sometime in early September. But this rings true. Normally we actually advertise April 15th for fall admission and November 15th. So just keep that in your mind for future years, but things happen. So for our applicants that would like to start with us in September, and they fill out the application, the traditional regular transfer application through the Montclair website, they'll notice a special question appear. If they pick one of the three majors, business, communication, or computer science, an additional question will appear, and they have to decide at that point, main campus or Scotch Plains campus. And so hopefully it's pretty obvious, and they can decide. And if they change their mind after they decide, it's all good. We'll coach them through that process. But applications, of course, are through montclair.edu, and this rings true for both freshman applicants and transfers. Well, actually transfers, we do not do Common App. I take that back. Freshmen, we do, but everything can be accessed through our main website, montclair.edu. All official college transcripts absolutely are needed. It does not matter if they transfer credits from one institution to the next. We need representation of all transcripts in all colleges. There is a $65 application fee, but like Union, we are able to offer fee waivers. If our community college students are part of PTK, Phi Theta Kappa, then of course they can use that promo code there. That's new for us. We are always doing instant decision days. So if it's at your institution, awesome. We would love to come and do something like that. But we also do our own in-house, and it could be most likely virtual. Sometimes we do it in person over the summertime. And of course, if they're part of select populations, just keep in mind, please inform them that, if they're part of EOF, there's usually an additional item to submit. Veteran, military, an additional item. So talking about requirements real quick, business administration and computer science, those two majors require a strict GPA. And that still remains true for main campus and Scotch Plains location. So we would really like to see a cumulative GPA of a 3.0 or higher. I always tell students to still apply regardless of their major, using their first choice on their application, because we have a team of transfer counselors here that will reach out to the student and go over their options with them. So although they may fall short in one way, we can still have a good conversation and coach them through to see if there's an alternate idea that we can offer them. So tuition, this is important. So our current Montclair State University students are paying $13,298 for the year. That's a full-time flat rate, tuition and fees combined. However, If a student goes through the Scotch Plains location, the agreement, they will not be on the hook for the fees or for parking, which is wonderful, right? Because Scotch Plains does not require parking permits, I guess. So basically, it could be $1,000 discount just taking away the fees entirely. And then, of course, depending on what a traditional on-campus student would be paying for parking, that's money off as well. So we're very excited to give a discount in this fashion. Out-of-state students, of course, at Montclair, are additional, and then room and board for the students that wanted to live on campus would be 16,000 or so. But the FAFSA is super important. We want all students to do it regardless of where they attend. Because one, you need to see what financial aid you're eligible for, but two, we want to see if you're part of Garden State Guarantee, which is that wonderful program that's just starting up on the 4-year side, starting this fall of 22. I'm sure you've all heard about it in the news, but of course we're participating in that. For our New Jersey resident students, if their family adjusted gross income is 65,000 or less annually, they will be part of this program where their 3rd and 4th year could have tuition covered for them. If they fall in the 65 to 80,000 range for family adjusted gross income, they will get a 50% off discount off their tuition. And that again rings true for the agreement, the Scotch Plains location. And that's our bridge program that we'll be doing. Excited to see how many good students could qualify for that. And rounding things down, one thing I'd like to mention is that, at the community college level, students are part of the Phi Theta Kappa PTK for their honor society. And we're fortunate to now offer, we have a chapter of our own for Tau Sigma at Montclair, and it's a National Academic Honor Society for transfer students. We would love for all students to have an opportunity to be part of this honor society, and in most cases they can be if they have more than 24 transfer credits and they earn a 3.5 GPA or higher. So that's not the GPA they're taking in from the community college. It's it's a brand new GPA, their first semester that they bring together, and so many good opportunities come with that. And then some questions I often hear from students and from counselors: should a student wait for all of their coursework to be done before they apply? No. Of course, as we know, if they're a senior in high school or they're finishing up their sophomore year at the community college, they can still apply, get that application in as soon as they think they want to apply. And then, of course, they'll follow up with transcripts and such as things become more available. But we would love to issue out decisions before they're done at their current institution. When will a new applicant know how many credits transfer? So on the transfer side, students would apply, they get accepted, and then we do the credit evaluation soon after. In fact, we generally have a 10-day business day turnaround time or less. And so it's super important for students to be savvy shoppers in a sense. We want them to feel comfortable and confident in their decision wherever they end up at their 4-year institution. So it's a great program. It's called Degree Works, and it's very user-friendly. Okay, the advantages of students going to the community colleges and then earning their associate's degree are great. We highly recommend them doing it for so many reasons. But on our end, if a student comes to Montclair eventually with an AA, an AS, or an AFA degree, their general education classes will be fulfilled automatically, no questions asked. They'll come in as a junior status, and their D grades are also transferable. So we all know that 2008 law, right? The Lampet bill that had passed. And so of course this plays into that. And so if students can go to community colleges first, get those associate degrees, that's wonderful. Transcripts, this goes for our transfer students. If they have to send a transcript, of course, transfermsu@montclair is the best email. And that's that. But that pretty picture in the bottom left, that is formerly known as College Hall. Maybe some of you attended Montclair at some point or visited one of the original buildings. It was under a 3-year renovation, and now it's Susan A. Cole Hall for our former president. And it's a one-stop shop now for all student services. And finally, here is our information for Gregory and for myself. And please, take a screenshot of our email, because we'll be very happy to stay in touch after this presentation. But I will open it up to anyone who has questions. Okay. I see one chat. Let's see. Okay. Anyone have any questions? I know we went over a lot. Okay, I have a question here in the chat. Is there any scholarship opportunities for transfer students? At this moment in time, on the transfer side at Montclair State, there are no scholarships that I could talk about at the moment. However, it can very well change tomorrow, and it often does. So we encourage all transfer students to apply early, get accepted early, earn their associate's degree, and of course, GPA sometimes plays a role in all of it too. And they'll be automatically considered for transfer scholarships if there's money to be had passed down to us.
Or if they are a part of the honor societies, they could get those scholarships.
Anything else? And also, one thing we didn't mention, this is fun. As a participant today, I know Neris, with our office at Montclair, we were going to send you all an email for Grubhub certificates. So hopefully you can have lunch on us. And if you did not, we'll take your name down and we'll make sure we get that to you. But we're very excited about this initiative. We're hopeful that it's going to be very helpful to students in those areas, especially if you live there, work down that way. This partnership is going to look real good for us. You all are very welcome. Thank you for joining.
Have a great weekend.
Yes. Bye-bye.